All right, welcome back to Smoking Metal Barbecue. For today's video, we will be doing a beef tri-tip from Wild Fork. It is a USDA prime cut. Should be pretty good. So for right now, all we're going to do is cut this open and get it seasoned up. Tri-tips typically don't need a lot of trimming. Um, we'll see if there's any silver skin or anything on here that we need to take off. But as you can see, this one's looking pretty good. We'll trim this. Got some dangly stuff here that we'll trim off because this is just going to burn up when we cook it. As you can see, my knife isn't as sharp as I'd like for it to be right now. Just trim that a little bit off there. Alright, that should be good for that. So for our seasoning today, we are using Kinder's the blend. This is just salt, pepper, garlic. Typically, this is what I like to use on steak personally. So I'm gonna actually do this over the sink so we don't make a mess. But this thing can take a pretty good coat. You're not gonna oversalt it. It's pretty thick cut of steak. Just make sure you get all the sides. A little bit left there. So I once again with meat like this, I like to leave it on a tray with a rack underneath so it can get air all around. We are seasoning this in the morning. We plan to cook this for dinner tonight. Like to, especially for beef and that, you like to do it, the earlier you season it, the better. Give the salt a chance to soak into the meat. Make sure you get that flavor in there. Um, yeah, so I'll be bringing you back when we are ready to throw this on the grill. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I do apologize about the noise. It is very windy out here in northern Illinois right now. Plus, I have a neighbor with a motorcycle that just drove by. So all we're doing right now is lighting up our charcoal. Um, we're just getting ready. We seasoned up the meat earlier. Just getting ready to throw the meat on. We do have some baked potatoes going right now. But yeah, this is going to be dinner. So we got the chimney, just a regular chimney starter with the tumbleweed going, and just standard Kingsford charcoal, nothing fancy. But yeah, we're going to get this going, and this will take about 20 minutes. And once that's ready, we'll dump it in the basket here. We are using the SNS grill. So we have the slow and sear insert. So what we can do is once this is lit, we're going to bank this over here. We do have some unlit charcoal here just to help get the heat up. We want a nice bed of coals so that we can get some really good heat to get a nice sear on the tri-tip. But yeah, once this is done, we're going to dump that on the coals here on the SNS grill, and we'll give that about 5-10 minutes to heat up, and we'll be ready to throw the steak on. So I'll bring it back when we're throwing the steak on. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You see how the coals are starting to get ashed over and starting to turn white. So what we're going to do is dump the charcoal chimney into the basket here and give that a chance to heat up the rest of the coals. And in about 10-15 minutes, we should be able to throw the meat on there and get a nice sear on the meat. And then what we can do, since we have the slow and sear insert over here, is we can get a nice sear on the meat and then move the meat over here to the indirect side so it's not directly over the coals, and finish cooking it to our desired temperature. Typically for tri-tip, me and my wife try to go for medium rare to medium-ish. I would not suggest to go above medium. It just would not be much of a good taste to it. It might dry it out. But these are starting to ash over on the top here. You can see the flames starting to come up. So all we're gonna do is take this and dump it over the top. So now that we got that, as you can see, um, there are still some that are not ashed over, which is fine. But we're gonna put the grate on, and give it about 10-15 minutes, let that heat up, and we'll be ready to throw the meat on there and get a nice sear on there. So I'll bring you back when we're doing that. All right, so now that we're at searing temperature on the cooking side, what we're going to do is open the lid and throw the tri-tip on. Um, Give this a couple minutes per side. It's a big, thick piece of meat. Um, but as you can see, we have the cooking side with the heat and the indirect side. Like I said, we're going to let this get up, get a nice sear. We might flip it a few times, but for now, we're going to let it sit there for a minute or two, and we'll flip it over, let it get a sear on the other side. We'll see how it looks after that. But for now, we're going to leave it like that and get a good sear, and we'll bring it back when we're ready to flip it. Okay, so this is what I was talking about as far as the sear. So it's been sitting for a couple minutes. So what we're going to do is just give it a flip. And you can see we're already starting to get a nice sear on each side. So we'll let it sit on that for a bit, and we can always flip it again. I don't mind flipping it a few times. I know some people might flip it once or twice and be done with it, but me personally, I'm just doing it the way that we like to do it. But we're starting to get some good char marks on there, as you can see. So yeah, we'll keep going with that. I'll bring it back when we're ready to flip again. Okay, so we got to sear on the other side a little bit at least. So what we're going to do is just flip it over, and you can see we're starting to get some nice grill marks and a nice sear on there. So we'll just keep going, let that heat up again, um, and we'll go from there. We'll see, maybe one more flip. We could always put it on the indirect side here if we need to. But yeah, we'll see what happens after this next flip here, and we'll go from there. We'll check the temperature and keep cooking. Okay, so with this cut right now, as you can see, I moved it in on the indirect side, but we're starting to get really good char marks. We got a nice sear on both sides. Um, so what we're going to do is cook it indirectly to let it finish. We don't want to burn it. Right now, in case anybody is wondering, we are probing. I don't know if you can see that. We're at 73 over there. Little bit of a difference, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is let it cook indirectly so that we don't burn it. We got a nice char on there. Um, so typically, me and the wife like ours at medium rare. So I pull ours at about 120, 125. So yeah, we'll bring you back when we're ready to pull. But yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. So I'm going to close the lid back up, let the heat um, finish cooking this off, and we'll bring it back. Okay, so as you can see, we got a nice bark, nice some good char on the side on the sides here. So we're gonna temp it. We're at about 115, 114. It's all right. Yep. So what we're gonna do at this point, we're getting about to that temperature that we wanted at. So what we're gonna do at this point is pull this off. I what I normally do is sit this on a cutting board with some foil tinted over it for about 10-15 minutes. Let it rest, and then we start slicing into it. That's very important to let it rest because you want to make sure that all the juices get a chance to soak back up inside of it. If you start cutting into this right now, all the juices are just going to pull right out of it, and it'll be very dry. So what we're going to do is tint it, and I will bring you back in about 10-15 minutes after it's rested, and we will start slicing into it, and we'll see what we turned out with here. Okay, so this is rested for about 15 minutes. So with tri-tip, you have different angles for the grain. So what you want to do is you slice against the grain. You don't want to slice with the grain; it'll make it tougher to eat. With the tri-tip, typically about halfway up where this end is where you want to slice it in half, and then from this side down, you want to go this way, and then with this piece here, you're going to want to go this way with it. But let's cut a couple pieces here and see how we did. So as you can see, that's about where we want it, about a medium rare to medium-ish for the with the coloring. Gonna do another one here. But yeah, we got it almost pink throughout. We'll cut another couple here on this side, see what this looks like here. So some of these pieces might look a little more well done, which is nice for if you have people that don't like as much pink in their beef. But yeah, this is looking perfect. So yeah, that's how we like doing our tri-tip here. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you for the next video.